Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Starting the Day the Right Way 5-minute devotion for November 20th, 2020. It is the weekend, and we are less than a week away from Thanksgiving. Incredible, incredible, incredible year going on, and we're all still praying just for God to wipe out this whole virus, right? So in praying before I came on, God led me to a minor prophet in the Bible in the Old Testament. The name is Habakkuk. Okay, and specific verses that he led me to were from chapter 3, 17 through 19. Okay, I'm going to read it from two different places. The first one comes from the New Living Translation. Puts it this way: even though the fig trees have no blossoms and there are no grapes on the vines, even though the olive crop fails and the fields lie empty and barren, even though the flocks die in the fields and the cattle barns are empty, yet I will rejoice in the Lord. I will be joyful in the God of my salvation. The sovereign Lord is my strength. He makes me as sure-footed as a deer, able to tread upon the heights. The Message puts it this way: though the cherry trees don't blossom and the strawberries don't ripen, though the apples are worm-eaten and the wheat fields stunted, though the sheep pens are sheepless and the cattle barns are empty, I am singing joyful praise to God. I am turning cartwheels of joy to my Savior God. Counting on God's rule to prevail, I take heart and gain strength. I run like a deer. I feel like I'm a king of the mountain. All right. Now, the book of Habakkuk is very short. It's only 3 chapters. The first 2 chapters, basically, Habakkuk is complaining to God. Why does evil seem to go unpunished? And then God actually answers him, and he tells him who he's going to use to punish Judah. He's going to actually use the Babylonians. Okay. And then in the second chapter, Habakkuk again complains, right? And he's complaining to God about God's ways. Well, how can you use wicked people, because Babylonia was wicked, to punish people who are more righteous than themselves, right? So again, God answered him in chapter 2, and God basically said that Babylonian will be punished and that their faith will be rewarded, okay? And then we see in chapter 3, Habakkuk come out of this doldrum of sadness and complaining and moaning and groaning to God and about God's ways. And suddenly we see him just rejoicing in God and just going through a series of characteristics of what many of us may be experiencing now. Even though the fig trees have no blossoms and there's no grapes on the vine, you know, in today, there's people who are unemployed, people who are going without food, you know, with no hope on the horizon. So I really believe that God puts these verses into the Bibles for specific times and for specific reasons. And those reasons are to show what he's done in the past is that he's going to do the same thing in the future. Maybe not in the same way, but the results are going to be the same. And the prophet took his solace in this. And all of a sudden you see in verse 17 to verse 18, a total shift in who he was. I will be joyful in the God of my salvation. So I know I've been speaking a lot recently on viewing things and how we see things, and we see a shift in Habakkuk, and he takes his eyes off of what's going on in front of him and he throws it up. And that's what we need to do. I think we need to turn our eyes upward and stop focusing on what's going on down here. Now, if there's injustice and unrighteousness going on down here, certainly bring it up and bring it to the Lord. Okay. There are things that are specifically stated in the Bible, okay, which God outright says, I don't like this, I don't condone this, and these ways are wicked. All right. So you can take hold of those verses and say, Lord, you say this in your word, and this is going on here. Interfere, bring it down, you know, come on down and bring your will from heaven onto earth, right? Let your will be done, right? As it is in heaven, here on earth. Okay, so as Christians, these are the things that we should be praying for. But in addition, if there are things that we've been praying for a long time, 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, if there's health issues, if there's relational issues, if there's financial issues, okay, know that God is working it out somehow, some way. Don't give up. Okay, it would be a crime if you had to go 7 steps and you were at step 6.999 and you didn't get to that 7th step, right? Keep on going, keep on pressing in. Your breakthrough is right around the corner. Okay, if it says it in the Bible, you can lean on it, you can claim it, you can call it as your own. All right, guys, hope this was a blessing. Have an awesome weekend.